And here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing and Three Kings Boxing. Round for Round Boxing, the new boxing game that's currently in development. Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 4 will be out on later next year for all the official coverage, features, trailers. Check out BWTM Sports. This is the official channel. And of course, don't forget to check out roundforroundboxing.com, www.roundforroundboxing.com. And of course, our partners, Three Kings Boxing, for all your boxing news, breaking news from around the world. Three Kings Boxing, www.threekingsboxing.com. And of course, in the corner, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you are able to watch interactive shows such as this. Now, we have an absolute legend in the room. The man's name is Tommy Carruthers. Tommy, how are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good, Tommy. So you are from Glasgow at this minute in time?
That's it. Glasgow, Scotland.
Scotland, that's it. Right. Let's get stuck into this interview. For people who don't know who you are, can you just give people just a brief introduction as to who you are and what you do?
Well, I teach Bruce Lee's martial art called Jeet Kune Do. I've done it since about 1974, and at this moment in time, I'm 59. So you'd have to do all the sums and get how many years I've been practicing it. But I've been practicing for quite a bit of time.
You've been practicing for a very long time. So yep. How did you come to know about Jeet Kune Do? And for those people who don't know quite what Jeet Kune Do is, can you just break that down for us first and foremost?
Really, Jeet Kune Do is Bruce Lee's expression of hand-to-hand combat, really. It's based on really being simple, direct, and non-classical. And it's tailored for the individual. So it's not a classical system like, say, karate or Wing Chun or some of these kind of martial arts. You have a set of principles and guidelines that keep you within the track, but really it's an individual martial art.
So how did you come into being involved with Jeet Kune Do? How did it happen for you? How was your journey?
Well, I don't know if you remember, way back in the day, you used to have a thing called World of Sport. You remember that?
I do. Dickie Davis.
Dickie Davis. They showed one clip. What a legend. They showed one clip of Way the Dragon with Bruce Lee. And I was really just quite fortunate to see it. And as soon as I saw it, I went, wow, my God, I'd like to be able to punch and kick like this guy. And, all these years later, I'm still trying to do that and teach people,
So how did you learn about the sport yourself? How did you get from where you are today? Who taught you?
Well, way back in the 70s, there really wasn't any instructors in the UK. Majority of people in America. So for a long time, I really had to try and teach myself until I was lucky enough to meet people like Jesse Glover, Mr. Ted Wong, Leo Fong, Howard Williams, and a lot of these guys that Bruce taught. I would say I was very, very fortunate to meet these people, and they could really, how could you say, sharpen up what I do, because JKD, and I was really so determined and passionate that I wanted to, try and figure this stuff out, even though I didn't have a teacher at the time.
Right. Okay. So you were doing it basically by yourself, and then how did you get a tutor into this? Who ended up becoming your tutor?
Well, there's quite a lot of people that actually gave me some input. I would say one of the guys that I owe quite a lot to would be the late Jesse Glover, who was Bruce Lee's first student.
Okay.
He was a very, very knowledgeable person in hand-to-hand combat, and he was a judo champion many times over up in the Seattle area and northwest of America. And me and him got on really, really well together. I don't know, we just kind of clicked, and we had a great relationship together, and he helped me with so many things. And it's just a pity that he's dead now, and there's no a day goes by I don't think about him or miss his presence and things I'm teaching or things I'm practicing. You know.
Now, the story of Bruce Lee. Now, some people would say it is absolute legend, and other people say, oh, he was just an actor. Can you break that down for me, how great Bruce Lee actually was?
In all honesty, I don't really think he was a great actor, to tell you the truth. I think as a martial artist, he was a pioneer and he was a legend. There's no two ways about it. And I think even today, he's still a way ahead of anything out there. And I think, you know, if people really looked at his martial art and looked at it in any kind of depth, they would realise just how revolutionary he was a way back, you know, in the mid-60s. He was just a way ahead of everything. I mean, you look at it today, nobody comes close to that guy. Nobody. I've never seen anybody that trained like him, possessed his speed or power, his insight to hand combat. Nobody.
What do you think, in your opinion, makes Bruce stand out to all the other martial artists around the world?
I think to start off, we had a lot of charisma, but I think Bruce Lee did have a lot of things that held him back, you know, and especially when he went to America. But I really think that Bruce Lee was such a determined guy that he was never going to give into anything. And he was going to work incredibly hard until he got to that place where he wanted to be. And I think that's it. And I think he had, you know, maybe a certain kind of gift. And he got there.
So, now, in terms of Bruce Lee, in today's society, where would he be in terms of if he was a martial artist today, and you were to put him into two sports, if you were to put him into boxing and put him into UFC, how would Bruce do, or MMA, how would Bruce do today in those two arts or codes?
See, the thing is, many people always say this, how would Bruce Lee do in UFC? I can only quote really what Jess had said to me, Jessica Glover said to me many times, you know, and a no holds barred match, within 2 seconds the person wouldn't have any eyes left. But that doesn't go well in UFC because, you know, JKD is total fighting. Although, you know, UFC is always kind of marketed as ultimate fighting, where it's got rules, and JKD is street fighting where there's no rules. So, would it be easy for Bruce to fight in a kid? I don't really know, to tell you the truth. You know, I don't know, because I think he was a guy that was used to fighting unrestricted. So I think the kind of tournament thing would be a kind of hindrance to him.
Okay, and explain to me the thing about Chinese boxing and how that differs to Western boxing.
I don't think he could really, you know, I think Bruce was a solid puncher, you know, a good mover, but compared to a professional boxer, you know, somebody at that era, you know, I don't really know, because again, you're taking a lot of things away that Bruce really can't use. He can't use an eye jab, can't use a groin kick, can't break the guy's leg, so he would be fighting under a lot of restrictions. So, but you know, we can always speculate. We really couldn't really say, because the guy's dead. He's not in that situation we compare. So anybody that says anything, they're more or less just saying what they feel, but know what would actually happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's talk more about Jeet Kune Do and what you do with it and what you've been doing with it since you've actually been an instructor for it.
Well, you know, JKD is a martial art where we really hack away the unessentials. That's the most important thing. You know, we gather the basic tools, we gather the ability to move, and then we hack them away. And I would say we're hacking all the unessential things away. We're cutting wasted motion back, and really we're wanting to really develop the attributes that they become so precise that we can detect movement, we can close for a distance and end it as minimalistic as possible, rather than this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just go bump, and that's that finished. And that should be the goal. Everybody who practices in Jeet Kune Do. But when you think about it, that should be really the goal. Everybody that practices hand-to-hand combat, exchange your punches and kicks where you're wearing yourself out. You should be training to end it as fast as possible, because in a street fight, you might be confronted with 2 or 3 people. So if you're fighting 2 or 3 people, you can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then a guy comes for here, and you've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, take him down, choke him. No way would that work. So if you were confronted with a few people, you want to be as minimalistic as possible. Bum, bum, bum. That's it, finished, end of story. So that's the goal. The practitioner of Jeet Kune Do, but that should be the goal of people who practice martial arts.
So there's something you've put on your website which I find very interesting, and probably will open up a can of worms. You said, it says in it, instructor of the original JKD.
Jeet Kune Do, yes. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What does that mean? The original JKD. If you're saying something's the original, that means that there must be. Yeah, there must be a fake. If there's original, there must be something else.
We've got really 2 kinds of Jeet Kune Do here. We've got what we call original, is what Bruce practiced when he was alive. And then we have a thing which is called JKD concepts, which is utilising the concepts of JKD and adding a lot of different martial arts to it. And, you know, we believe that that's a kind of watered down version of Bruce's original thinking, because with Bruce's original martial art, you don't have to add anything to it, because the whole purpose of this thing is to take things away from it, daily decrease. You know, because between A and B, you know, the most direct route is that straight line. And, you know, the whole idea is to try and move along this straight line as efficient, as direct, as economical as possible without deviating from it. So that should be the goal, rather than adding other martial arts to it that could be possibly be a hindrance. So that's it, roughly the difference.
Where has all this watered down concept come from? Well,
I would say really the JKD kind of concept grew from one of Bruce's students, Mr. Dan Santo. He was a guy that more or less he developed JKD concepts, which is completely different from what Bruce was practicing, because no, you're adding like Thai boxing to shoot fighting to Wing Chun and all these different martial arts, you know, and it seems to be like a JKD blend of techniques rather than a single thrust to conclude the fight and finish it. And that's what Bruce was all about. It wasn't about adding all these things to it and X, Y, and Z. It was about bump, and that's it, finished. But you've got to remember one thing, you know, this single thrust and bump and finish it, that doesn't suit everybody, because to accomplish that, people have got to be really dedicated, and they've got to train their bodies like a weapon, relentless, thousands of techniques, I should say, thousands of repetitions, in out, until you can do this, and that's it, finished. The concept method seems to be a blend of a lot of techniques, and it looks, in my personal opinion, a commercial method to keep people happy. We go for here, we go for here, we do this, we do that, we do this. And no, Bruce is all about, boom, that's it, done. Well, it's a kick or a punch, it's concluded, it's over, it's clinical, it's fast, you know, it's efficient, and your heart rate isn't even going like this. It's like just keeping a steady heart rate, boom, and that's it, done, a kick, and that's it, finished. Run, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you go, you know, so we prefer follow Bruce's idea, you know.
So wait. So if I were to put the JKD concept versus the JKD original man in the same room to fight, how does that as a competition? How does that work out?
You know, it would really be down to the individual himself to be honest with you, because I'm sure you've got JKD concept people there who are pretty competent, and I'm sure you've got original people who are pretty rubbish, to tell you the truth. So it's really just down to the individual if it came to it. You know, that's what's down to. You know, just the same as you could have a good box against, you know, I should say you could have a really shit karate guy against a good boxer. You know, and
yeah.
Does that mean karate is rubbish? Or you could have a good karate guy against a shit boxer. Right. Does that mean boxing rubbish? No. It's down to the individual, the person himself.
rephrase that then. You've got one art in its purest form. You've got one art that is just one, like trying to take you out of one shot and done. And you got another art that is giving you a combination of punches to finish somebody off. To me, it sounds like the original concept is to take a guy out straight away without any questions asked. The other one is like, well, give you the percentages are the guy that's the concept guy is going to get hit and hurt more because you're looking to finish your job. This one sounds like more of a killer than the other.
Well, Bruce Lee's art, you're right. Bruce Lee's art was, you know, the ultimate killing thing, just to use weapons and kill. You know, I don't mean kill literally, but kill, finish it, conclude it. You know, you have that straight thrust right into the eyes. You have the groin kick. You know, you're attacking, you know, 3 primary targets: eyes, groin, and kneecaps. And this is to finish it. I mean, it's not a spar match. It's not a joke. This is reality when there's no escape route and you have to finish this thing fast. Well, you just go bump, and that's it, done. You weren't going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know.
Let's talk a little bit about the 1-inch punch. That was something that always fascinated me about Bruce Lee. The 1-inch punch.
Right.
How I see it, I hear it, I've watched it, but that, does it take years to master that, or is that something that can be mastered very quickly?
You know, the 1-inch punch is just a thing that Bruce used to use, you know, when he's doing demonstrations, just to demonstrate you don't need a lot of distance to throw a punch. It's really just a kind of gimmick thing, to tell you the truth. You know, it's not as if you're going to go up to an inch before somebody do this thing. You know, I just look upon it as a kind of gimmick. You know, it doesn't really, for me, it really doesn't mean anything. You know.
You see, that's it. But a lot of people will look at that and they'll say the 1-inch punch, and they'll put that to Bruce Lee, and I think, 1-inch punch. But you understand, being a master of the sport now, or of the arts, that it's a gimmick. But to those who are blind and don't know, wouldn't know different.
Of course. Well, that's the same way martial arts today. You know, this is the way I look at it, right? You know, probably maybe about 30 odd years ago, people were looking at martial arts from a different perspective. You know, the day's generation, everything's based on no reality. It's all based in virtual. So they have a trouble with reality. But about 30 years ago, people understood what reality was. And, you know, when I was serving my time in a steel shop and I was practicing, you know, JKD, some of the old timers used to say, son, I would just kick the guy in the groin and finish.
Yes.
Later on down that line, I realised, sure, that's how you conclude. And what society, or this new generation, because they're living in this virtual world and they see everything through a phone or through a tablet or computer, they start to believe all this stuff rather than 30 years ago where people just didn't believe it.
I got you. I get that. Before we go on to the next thing, UFC.
Right.
There's some people who say out there, oh well, if Bruce got knocked to the ground, he'd have no ground game. What happens if Bruce got knocked to the ground? Because yeah, it's okay doing kicking and punching, but when he's got to the ground, what's his ground game gonna be like?
See, I've heard this so many times that people say, right, I'm going to do JKD for stand-up and I'm going to do jiu-jitsu for the ground game. And I look at him and I think, ground game? In a street fight, it's not a ground game. In a street fight, the whole idea is to get back up. It's no like you should be doing jiu-jitsu on the deck. You're on the concrete. There's guys coming across and kicking you. There's guys hitting you with bats, stabbing you. There's people with dogs that's going to bite you, and you want to do a ground game. You know, I worked as a bouncer for 7 years, and on the deck was the last place I would ever want to be, playing some stupid ground game with people. You know, putting them in some hold that I was restricted, because you've got to remember, every time that you put a lock on, you tie yourself up and you're vulnerable to be kicked, punched, stabbed, bitten, and you name it. So when we talk about a ground game, Bruce's ground game was to get up as quick as possible with pinch, bite, pull, or strike. That was his concept. No, I'll put the guy in an arm lock, he'll do this. Nah, man, that's a sport. That's no reality.
Okay, which moves us into the next point. The
Okay.
UFC. Conor McGregor, the UFC star. He says he's the
Right.
closest to Bruce Lee. What are your thoughts on that?
Ah, he's fucking dreaming. That's comical. Oh, closest thing to Bruce Lee. Oh, fuck off. If he's the closest thing to Bruce Lee, I must look like Bruce Lee. And I'm Scottish with bloody round eyes. What a joke. What an insult to Bruce Lee.
Can you break that down for us, please? Because there are people out
there. Listen, if Bruce Lee come back to the world with a pair of training shoes on, fucking couldn't tie Bruce Lee's training shoes.
So, I mean, okay. So, McGregor says he's dedicated like Bruce Lee, he trains like Bruce Lee, and he's got the same. No. Absolutely not.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
So, I mean, the whole thing about McGregor and the Bruce Lee thing. I'm the modern thing to Bruce Lee. I'm the modern Bruce Lee.
Aye. And I'm the new fucking Elvis Presley.
I guess you must have heard it before then.
No, I've never heard it. That's how it's so funny.
Well, he said it a few times.
If he's the closest thing to Bruce Lee, I'm going to take up fucking singing and release an album. And call it The King's Back. You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
So as a martial artist, how do you your thought process of what McGregor's done as a UFC artist, and where does that fit in with the whole JKD?
He's not a totty day with JKD. He's a mediocre puncher. That's about how kicking's quite suspect. That's basically how he got to fight Mayweather. He's just a chancer. He chanced it and it paid off, and that's it. Simple.
So all right. There's a rumor that there's going to rematch between McGregor and Mayweather.
Right. Okay.
Now, from your perspective, swapping codes from UFC to boxing, was there any way in your mind that you felt that McGregor could have beaten Mayweather?
The thing is, Mayweather is a professional boxer. McGregor's no, right? That's the big difference. The other thing is that McGregor, as far as I looked at it, was out of gas, and Mayweather's game plan worked very, very well, and he was ready to get knocked out, and he was just saved by the ref. That was it. He was ready to knock him out because McGregor didn't train right and didn't train for the distance. And the thing is, Mayweather knew that and just played into that and let him punch himself out. That was it. So his training was all right.
So, okay, so what is your ideology in terms of from JKD to boxing, and what could JKD offer boxing, or more so, what could he offer someone like Conor McGregor?
Well, to start off with conditioning wise, I really think that what he should have done is he should have done maybe 15-minute rounds. No, 3-minute rounds. If I was training him, I would train him today 15-minute rounds, and I would build up to he could punch and kick full speed and full power for 15 minutes solid, and then he would do progressively until he could do maybe 7 or 8 15-minute rounds. Then it means when he goes in the ring, he's ready to fight and go the distance if he has to go the distance. Then he has to sharpen his weapons up because he's not clean. And the thing I noticed about a lot of guys, and back to boxing as well as MMA, it seems to be all they're using is arm punching and a bit of upper rotation. And you never see the hip, you never see the lead side turning, you never see pushing off, you never see this. And I think that if he was taught right, and he spent a bit of time and he took the time to listen to somebody and trained, he might have a bit of a chance.
What can make, obviously now under your tutelage, you feel or go? Do you feel under your tutelage? I know you would sell yourself and say, "Yeah, well, it's me. I'll train him."
Of course.
You'd back yourself, but do you really think that by training him and giving him 15-round sessions of training, he could be able to outdo the masterful skills of someone like a Mayweather who's been around for so long?
Mayweather's clever. So the thing is, to fight him, you've got to outsmart him. That's the thing. And you can't play into his hand. That's for sure. Mayweather really doesn't like attack all the time. He takes wee spurts, but he loves to tire you and pull you in and get you. That's what he wants to do. So whoever trains McGregor, they shouldn't really fall into that plan and let Mayweather dictate the fight. That's a no-no.
Okay, if you were to set up a, okay, maybe not saying if you were to set up a strategy to beat Mayweather. Okay, let's look at Mayweather as I would say a martial artist, but he is a martial artist because boxing is considered one of the martial arts. So where does Mayweather stand? I mean, in terms of martial artists and greatness and ability to hit and not get hit, in your opinion?
I think, really, I think anybody who fights Mayweather has to be aggressive. They can't let that guy off the hook, because I know his team, he's put under pressure. He's back to that. That's what he's back to. And I think really somebody has to be really aggressive. They've got to get him. And they've got to be trained to be aggressive. They've got to be trained to go the distance and beyond the distance. They've got to be in a peak shape. Their weapons have got to be honed, that every punch is a knockout shot. And then this arm punching, everything's got to be full power. And to full power and move fast, move powerful, have the ability to see fast and be aggressive. That takes a bit of training. And I think that's the way you beat the guy.
So Carruthers, have you ever met the notorious one, by the way?
No, mate. No.
Never met him. Okay, so let's just say McGregor's listening to this message now. He somehow is listening to this message. What would you say to McGregor if he was now and you had a minute slot to say what you had to say? What would you say to Conor McGregor? Should he be contemplating taking a rematch against Mayweather?
Sack your coach.
Why?
Sack your coach.
Well, I'm loyal. He's been with me and I'm loyal to him. What if he says that to you?
Right. Okay. What do you want to do? You want loyalty or do you want to win?
But then he would say to you, well, then, okay, I know you're good at JKD, but okay, what makes you that? What have you? He would suggested, what would you done in boxing? What would you?
Well, the first thing I would say was, okay, let me see you punching, let me see you moving. I've seen them on the focus mitts. That's party kick stuff. Absolutely terrible. Who fights like that? You punch like this. You don't punch like this. You punch like that for here, and what happens is you lose 2/3 of your power. You punch like that. You don't lose your power. You turn your hip. You push off. So you're using three forces. You're using lineal force, rotational force, and gravitational force. And martial arts and boxing, you never see it. All you see is shoulder, a bit of shoulder. So strip them back, work on all individual techniques, get them right, blend them together, train him that he can go further than he's ever have to go. There you go.
Okay. Another man from the world of boxing, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
Tyson Fury's on the comeback. He is supposed to next to fight Deontay Wilder. Right. What are your thoughts on the Gypsy King? And have you ever met the Gypsy King?
No, never met him.
Never met him. Okay. No. Talk to me about the Gypsy King. Your thoughts.
Right. Okay. Observations to start off with. Every time he throws his jab, he drops it. The only thing Tyson Fury's got is his height. If he meets somebody the same height as him and who's skillful, he's finished. That's it. He can only use his height. He's sloppy in his jab when he drops it. He throws his hooks too far away. His uppercuts are thrown for way back here. And again, coach is paticating. The focus mat's going over the top of his head. So he needs to tighten up. He needs to learn how to use his body. Once he learns how to use his body, you'll see his power increasing dramatically. And that's his problem. He's okay on his feet. He needs to learn to use his body. He needs to learn to use angles more. And that's it. It wouldn't be a difficult job to take the guy and tidy him up. But I watched him on the focus match. The coach is feeding uppercut, and it's away here, miles away. You don't throw the uppercut that way. The uppercut's a close-in punch this way. The hook was away like this, too wide. Again, arm punching. No hip, no leg, no gravity, nothing. All these people, give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'll get them punching far better than any of these coaches could ever do. And it'll cost them nothing in 10 minutes.
That's an offer.
That's the offer. Easy. I've been doing this for so long. I can take somebody and I can make them better at punching in what? 10 minutes. What would they be like in 3 months?
Do you believe that Mayweather actually does all that fancy stuff, or do you think he actually has got a proper technique there?
You know, at the end of the day, anytime I've saw him doing glut when he's been punching focus mitts, I really just think this kind of why. You know, the way I look at it, right? This is the way I look at it, right? If you're going to hit the mitts the way you're going to hit an opponent, and you're not going to be punching your opponent that way, you're going to try and use all your reach and all your power and knock him out. So if you're doing all these rounds like that, so close like this for here, it's pointless. It's a waste of time. And that feeding focus mitts this way and feeding the jab like that, your partner's face isn't like that. So how can you make contact with it when the guy's doing this with the focus mitt? That thing should be flat and you should be hitting it like that. And it shouldn't be going like this or that or over the top of your head. You know, when I look at, when I watch it, like boxing on Sky, and you see this clip where they're inside the dressing room with the coaches, and the coaches are doing this, I'm like, man, that's piss poor. That's so amateur. Whoever started that bad habit? Because the boxers lose so much power and they never move their feet. That's the most important thing. And standing like this, I mean, my tip to these guys, see if you want to learn anything, look back the way and you'll see the old-timers and you'll see how they do it. Look at Joe Louis, how he moves, like this for here. Look at Marciano, how he moves. What do you see nowadays? This. That's it. Creep up to each other like that and then get close enough. No upper body movement, no catch, no parry, no hip, move, turning. It's all lost, man. When you look at the coaches, shit, some of these guys are about 30 or about 25, you know. I'm nearly 3 times their age.
That's a scathing, but you've not just made you've not only just criticised, you've actually given you reasons as to why, and you've given,
of course,
technical reasons as to why you say it. You know, do you believe that JKD can actually transfer from JKT into boxing and produce world champions? And if so, so
I think the tactics can. I think applying JKD principles and tactics, I think it certainly can do it. I just need to get the right person that's got talent, has got a bit of skill, who's athletic. I think it can happen.
Okay. We've got actually people in the room. Let's see. Let's see what people are saying. Let me get this up because I've got people in the room in the chat and I haven't really. Let's see. Let me get this done here. What do you think of? Have you ever seen Deontay Wilder's punching? The way Deontay Wilder delivers his punches, by any chance?
I just saw a couple of clips of him. He keeps kind of sticking his hand out all the time like this, I noticed. And, you know, if you were fighting right side up, what I would do is I would get my fighter to fight right side up, and I'd get him to keep his right hand on the outside. And when he throws that jab, I would get him to parry the jab in the way so that he can connect and then throw the right hook. So it means Wilder couldn't throw the left hook, and you'd be in a position where he couldn't throw his right hand to get you.
Yep.
But if you're just standing like this, he's going to nail you that left jab, but you need to be like that to control it. See, this is old school like that, control it. You control the left jab, he can't throw the left hook. He's only got one punch he can use, the straight right, and you're nailing at the head or body. And where this hand is, you're throwing your right hook and then backhand uppercut hook, and you're angling off to the side so that you're outside his arm and on this side here, and you're not in front of him. Because that's the thing you don't want to be, is in front of him. If you're in front of him and you're punching and moving right in front, he can nail you with that straight right and the left hook. But you go like that, the left hook is taken away. You've only got one punch to deal with, and you've already counter-punched him. And that's what Tyson Fury has to do if he fights him. If he fights right side up. If he fights him left side up. If he fights him left side up, he should be faking to the body and hitting him with a right hook. Because if you notice, when Wilder's throwing that punch, he drops his right hand. So if he drops his right hand, if you're throwing the left to the body, as a fake to the body, up to the head, back across, and angle off, he's had it.
Okay. From what you've seen of Tyson Fury now, 2018, versus Deontay Wilder, how does that fight go about for you?
What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean.
Those two are fighting. Who wins and why at this minute in time from what you've seen of Wilder and Fury?
I think maybe Fury might have an edge on it.
Okay.
I think he might have a slight edge.
And what do you think of his condition since he's come back? As you know, from the days he was with Peter Fury, now he's with a new trainer. How do you think he looks? He's very comfortable now.
I noticed that when he's pressured and he gets put in the corner, his defence goes away.
Okay.
He should try and use his footwork more. He should think about using his footwork. He should think about angling. And again, back to the same thing. He's relying on his pure size with his arms, and he should learn to use his body. If he learned to use his body, he would be throwing punches that would be killing people. But he's not even punching with 2/3 of the power.
Okay. Anthony Joshua, Britain's Anthony Joshua. Any thoughts on him?
Right. Josh was too stiff. Far too stiff. Upright, moving like this. He's too stiff, and he's in wrong shape because all they seem to be doing is bulking him up. He just looks like another Frank Bruno. More muscly. And you've got to remember, the bigger you are, the more muscle you're carrying. As the fight progresses, the muscles are getting pumped up. As they get pumped up, you're using more calories, you're getting tireder. So I think the conditioning coach, with all the strength stuff they're doing, I think you need to kind of watch what they're doing on that. But again, Joshua's got two punches. He's got a left jab, he drops, typical, and he's only got a right uppercut at close quarters. When somebody pressurises him getting close in, that's all he throws. He panics, and he's always square. If you notice him, he's always square. He never fights like this for here, where he's parrying and moving and hitting. You know, the way I would train him to be what the British equivalent of Muhammad Ali, up on his toes, moving, hitting and make him such an elusive target that he'd be punching for every angle with punches that would be so powerful. He'd have no jaws or no ribs left. But every time he punch and move, and it wouldn't be like this. No, what was it? Muhammad Ali said about George Foreman is like the mummy. I mean, that latest clip of Anthony Joshua, you know, muscles up to here. You know, it's comical, man. Look, I mean, British boxing's piss poor, and you look at them. You know, here's the thing, right? The only two guys I think that look pretty good now are Nigel Benn's son and Chris Eubank's son. They look pretty good. You know, Nigel Benn's son is a bit a slugger. You know, he can fight, but he's taking too many punches. His guard's too low. He needs to be a bit higher up and parry and hit. But he's tough, but he could be really good. Really good. Eubank's son's the same. I made a comment about Chris Eubank's son one time on Facebook. He was hitting this punching device and he was punching it with his fist like this, you know. He was hitting it like that, and I said, you should know better than that to punch this way. You're going to break your wrist. They didn't like the comment. But the thing is, here's a bit I don't get. How did the coach no spot that? Because that's a bad habit. He makes contact. He's got a broken wrist.
So today's coaches are very much, there's a lot of celebrity coaches out there, but what I'm very interested in is when they're in the corner. When they're in the corner, questions are, that's the test of a coach, not what he says before the fight and after the fight. When the fighter goes back to the corner and they're getting their head rocked by a jab or they're getting caught with a this coach doesn't seem to respond. I've heard coaches go, hit harder or I'm going to have to retire you. What kind of coaching is that?
I know. The coaches should be analysing you and you're fighting, and they should see the patterns in the opponent every time you do something. If he does something the exact same and he falls into a pattern, you should spot it. And then you say to him, okay, every time you throw that jab, maybe he does this or does that. Next time he throws it fake and punch him this way. So they should be really watching rather than saying, aye, okay, just keep him on the back foot. I really think that they don't watch in depth. Plus the thing is, naturally, everything you're telling the fighter today, he's got to go in and try it. That's the thing.
Okay. How much do you know of Dave Allen?
Who?
Dave Allen. Do you know Dave Allen?
No.
Okay. Do you know David Price?
Price, no.
Okay. What would you do with a guy who's a bit suspect around his chin, vulnerable around the chin, and lacks stamina? What could you do with a fighter like that?
He lacks stamina.
Lacks stamina and is vulnerable around the chin. Durability. How would you change that?
Well, to start off with, if he's got a suspect chin, he's really got to work on, covering and have good defence. There's no two ways about it. And he can't be fighting the way you see some of these guys now. Maybe they fight their hands down here. He has to have really, really good cover and no leave his chin exposed. Stamina-wise, he's got to be doing the work. You can't be lazy in this game. If you want to be good, you've got to go up and do your road work. You've got to do your bag work. You've got to hit the pads. There's no excuse. That's it. So if his stamina's bad, he's not training right. And there's nothing else you can do about that. He's got to be willing to do it. If he's willing to do it and he does the time, his stamina will get better.
Okay. Have you ever seen Canelo fight before? And Triple G, Golovkin?
I never heard you. Sorry.
Have you seen Golovkin fight before? Gennady Golovkin and Canelo.
I saw a couple of the clips on Facebook of these guys. Again, The thing I noticed about Canelo is that he moved and he stopped to punch. If you watch him, he moves, he stops, he roots himself and he punches. But again, he doesn't use his body. You look and all you see is that. Shoulders turning. You don't see any hip. You never see him using his leg to push off. You never see him using gravity to drop in and drop his body weight. And again, punches like that. That's what I saw him. Throwing punches like this thing here. I mean, it seems to be a trait all through boxing. And I really think the problem is that the people who are coaching these guys don't realise that these are bad habits. You never see the old-timers doing that. You watch Joe Louis, you see him turning, you see that hip turning, you see him moving, you see this up here bombing hitting him. Where do you see that now? You don't see it. It's just, for me, I look at all these boxing matches, and all I see is arm punching with this turning a bit. That's all I see. And
that's because
British boxing. That's British boxing. British boxing's that. I watched it last night. That's what I saw. Watched it last night. They bobbing, weaving, show roll, catching, parrying. Exactly. That's all finished. That's old school. That's finished. Who do you see doing it? You maybe see that Russian guy doing it. What's his name? Russian guy. Look at the Russian guy, the other Russian guy. Lomachenko.
Usyk. Lomachenko, yes.
Ah, you see him catching, moving like that.
Yes.
Because his old man taught him, old school. But British boxing, the coaches, I don't know, pads up like that. That's it. Get closer in. That's it. Noon again, that. It gets to the point it's boring. You know, you click on YouTube, you look at Joe Lewis, you look at Jack Dempsey, you look at Gene Tunney, you know, you look at Floyd Patterson, you look at Tommy Hearns, like that for here, you look at Roberto Duran, you look at Marvin Hagler, you need to look back to see something good, even Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, but the current crop, man. I know. I just need a fighter that's got a bit of talent, that he can move like this, and then to destroy all these mummies. Tommy,
this has been absolutely amazing. Yeah,
great.
This is absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of people will be listening to this and will probably agree with what you're saying. And you're just so honest, which is what people want to hear.
Well, here's the thing, right? You know, honesty sometimes scares people. And my job, I think, as a martial arts instructor, when people are paying you money to teach them, the most important thing is to be honest with them. And I made a lot of enemies because I was honest and told the truth. But what's happening now is more and more people are respecting me for telling the truth. And my goal here is to get into British boxing and tell the truth and turn out fighters that you used to see a way back, old school, and to turn it round about that when people look at British boxing, they go, wow, that's entertaining. These people are skillful, and they don't have any of that.
So you're basically saying you're prepared now to come into the world of boxing and make an impact in the world of boxing.
I want to make an impact in the world of boxing and turn out some really excellent boxers that people want to watch. Because you know what? Boxing was so boring. People went to watch MMA. So I want the right fighters to train them so that when people see these people fighting, they don't even want to consider MMA, because when they go to a boxing match, they're going to get entertained with skillful fighters that they go, wow, that's boxing. Because let's face it, 12 rounds of that. After three rounds you go, okay, let's go and put a cup of tea on. You make a cup of tea, a bit of toast, you come back and it's still like that. And you go, so what happened? No, nothing happened. They're still like that. And you go, okay, right, go and put a pizza on. You put a pizza on and come back and eat it. So what happened? They're still like that. Oh, man. I want to watch a boxing match where the guys are so skillful and so precise, and the standard is way up there that you don't even want to go to the toilet. Because if you go to the toilet in that split second, somebody could be knocked out and you went, oh, I missed the knockout. That's what I want to do for British boxing.
Okay. Tommy, I would love the opportunity to be able to see what you do and how you do it.
Okay.
I'm sure viewers that on BWTM Sports would love the opportunity to get to see what you're like up close and personal. There's loads of videos out there of you on YouTube for sure, but we'd love the opportunity to come and see you doing what you do.
Okay. Right. Okay. Sure. Interesting.
What would we see as viewers coming, like with our cameras coming to see you? What would we get? What would our viewers get coming to see you in your gym and club?
As far as JKD, what you would get, you'd get something clinically, you know, right to the point with no wasted motion. That's what you'd see. So maybe for some people, it's no spectacular because it's just like, that's it, finished, or 1-2 and it's it, finished. But for people who understand hand-to-hand combat, when they see something like that, they think, that's it. You know, that's really what we should be practicing, you know. You know what? I remember somebody said to me a long time ago, and they said, you know, a lot of people in the JKD world are jealous of you because they look at what you're teaching and they realise they should have been teaching that as well all the years back, and now they're trying to catch up with you, so they're pretty jealous. And I say, well, don't be jealous. I'll show you. I'll teach you. You don't have to be jealous about it because I'm here to help people. My job as a teacher to help people understand, you know, Bruce's martial art, also to help them understand the realities of hand-to-hand combat. And then, you know, if people want to fight professional, to take the boxing and take professional fighting to a higher level. Because, you know, what I see, you know, way back in the day, Jim Driscoll, who's an all-time boxer, and Jack Dempsey, both of these guys wrote a book, well, Dempsey wrote, I think he wrote 2 books. Jim Driscoll wrote about 4 books. These guys wrote these books because they were dissatisfied with the current state of boxing. That's what they wrote books for, you know. And when I look at boxing now, I think, oh man, you know, they thought boxing was bad way back then. When you look at boxing now, you know, look at last night, you know, 2 guys in the ring just slugging out like that here, like against the ropes for countless amounts of rounds. One guy gets tired, he hits him, he knocks him out. It's like, you know, how much money are you paying for that? You're sitting like this, you know, bored. You know, where's the entertainment? Where's the skill value? You know, I mean, at 60, I could get in and do that. 3-month training, I could get in and do that at 60. You know, I want to see a bit of, you know, a bit of skill, a bit of talent. But I don't mean that showmanship of Prince Nazim, that somersault, stupid stuff. That's just a joke. I mean, you know, athletes at the highest caliber with punching power, moving, slick, skillful, the ability to see fast, pinpoint movement, knock people out, bang, bang, and that's it. That's what I mean. And people would pay a lot of money to watch that rather than these mummies that's like this and pad work like that, and, you know. Anyway.
What do you, before we close off, what are your thoughts on these boxers on Instagram punching and hitting bags and throwing fast combinations?
What ones is that?
Well, the ones where they sit there and they throw these punches on the bag real quickly.
You know, this is the thing, right? You've got, you know, the plate ball here, the stunning day like this for here, right?
Yeah.
That and the day with the fancy stuff. Well, the way I look at that is that's like a gimmick. That's like the 1-inch punch, because you don't box anybody this way. Okay, what's the argument? It's good for your shoulders. Well, so's a pair of bloody dumbbells. That's good for your shoulders. Or plate raises. Do that. But starting doing this, it means nothing. You could take the plate ball and throw it away. It's as bad as that device that goes like that. You know, that arm, and people go underneath it. Right? It moves at a constant speed. Anything that moves at a constant speed is worthless. The thing is, if you're going to train with any type of equipment, it must move in a rhythm. It must move in an unbroken rhythm. So it has to move and move like that. Because anything that's rhythmic, you can time it. And real skill is to work against things that don't move in a constant rhythm. So a plate ball that moves like that, one of these devices you go underneath that moves like that, you could do it without looking at it. But if that thing stopped, started, then that'd be real skill.
Okay, for people in the room, this is the time for you to ask questions to Tommy. If you ask questions to Tommy, get your questions in now to ask Tommy, okay? We've got Tommy for a few more minutes, so ask Tommy your questions now. People want to know, how would they sign up with you, Tommy?
How would they sign up?
Yeah.
Well, just contact me through yourself.
Yep. Or they go to www.TommyCarruthers.com.
Send me a mail.
There you go. And the link is actually in the description box, by the way, as well, guys. Hold on. Let's see. How much would you charge for training, Tommy?
What is it?
How much would you charge for training? People are asking the question.
What kind of training?
What kind of training are you asking? JKD or boxing? Next question is, what do you think of Dan in Santos teaching of JKD? In a Santo, that's it.
Well, he was one of Bruce Lee's students way back in the day and ran the Chinatown school for Bruce. And I would think that, you know, he teaches a lot of stick fighting, and it'd be hard to find somebody better at Filipino martial arts than him. He's, I think he's about 80 now, and I think he's an amazing guy for his age.
Okay. Who's next? It goes, excellent interview showing a wealth of experience. Check Bruce Lee's public sparring sessions. Best demonstrations of arm, leg, body combination I ever saw. Fluid interchange of punches and kicks, says Mark Stanton. He says, Lowland Prophet says, want to hire you, get to my gym, boxing. Oh, somebody wants to hire you to get to the boxing gym.
Right, okay.
Okay, so we can get that. We'll talk about that. What are your thoughts in UFC? I think we spoke about this earlier, but what are your thoughts in UFC generally, Tommy?
I honestly think that UFC is getting done away.
Okay.
I think UFC is actually going. I think it's actually going backwards. To tell you the truth.
Okay.
It's not as popular as it used to be. It was a fad, but it's not as popular as it used to be. And when it comes down to it, if you'd ask me, what would you want to watch? A really good boxing match with really two excellent fighters, or a UFC match where they end up on the mat rolling about. I want to watch a good boxing match. I don't want to see two grown men with tattoos rolling about and cuddling each other. I prefer to watch two guys standing upright trying to punch each other.
Okay. Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris. Who's better?
Bruce Lee be a mile, man. Bruce Lee, man. He's a way ahead of his time. He's the daddy.
People are like, so where does Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal fit then?
No, they're on that ladder somewhere underneath the last rung of the ladder.
Why? Steven Seagal never dies in his movies. He never gets.
I know. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? You know, it's just comical. It's like you've got the ladder and you've got the last rung, and they're down here somewhere. They're maybe trying to go at that and get on the rung, you know, to climb up, you know. And Bruce is away at the top here, and they're looking at him, and they're away down here, and kind of thinking, "I wish I was fucking Bruce Lee."
What about Jet Li?
Jet Li. These guys are okay. They're entertaining, you know what I mean? But you watch, it's the same stuff all the time, you know what I mean? It's just like patty cake. For me, it doesn't do anything to me, you know. I saw these pictures and I just kind of sit and watch them and I go, they're nothing, you know. It doesn't do anything, you know. Even the day when Enter the Dragon is on Sky TV or one of Sky channels, and you watch it and you look at Bruce punching and kicking and moving, you think, well, that was 40 years ago. You don't even see anybody close to it, and that was 40 years ago. And then you look at a Steven Seagal film and he's got that kind of, you know, that wig on his hair like that, you know, and he's with his beads and he's doing all that shit. That's just, you go, I just get bored, you know. I would just get bored.
Wow, that's very interesting. But people, it's interesting stuff, though. What's the difference? What's the difference between giving ranks versus giving colored belts?
Okay, like color belts is probably a traditional thing, like in karate or judo or taekwondo or something. Like you get a belt, you know. Sometimes in like Chinese martial arts, they give people ranks, and Jeet Kune Do you can get ranks as well. So That's roughly the difference. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the same kind of thing. You know, it's whether it's a belt or a bit of paper with a stamp on it with a rank. It just means that you've accomplished something. You know, that's it. Doesn't mean to say you're a holy terror or you're an amazing fighter. It just means you've accomplished a part of the syllabus, and you shouldn't really get yourself excited that you're second rank and you can get there and take on the world. It just means you've learned, you know, part of a syllabus, and the instructor thought you were okay to give you that rank. That's it.
Let's see what here. Where are you based in Glasgow?
I'm just based outside the city centre.
Okay. Let's see what else here. Oh dear. I don't think you want to answer that question. Somebody's asking, who was the best Tarzan?
The best Tarzan? Johnny Weissmuller.
Oh, that's the man. Johnny Weissmuller was the best Tarzan. Oh my God. He was a legend, wasn't he?
He was the best.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Somebody says Bruce was a great actor.
Huh?
Somebody said Bruce Lee was a great actor.
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
It was okay, but you know what? Nah.
Okay. Let's see anything else. Yeah, if people want to contact Tommy, they can go to the description box. His website is there. You can click on that and you can get to the website. Tommy, finally, before we get, because we started the title being Tommy's message to Conor McGregor and Tyson Fury. Okay. Conor McGregor, he might be coming back to fight Mayweather, but he's got a fight against Khabib, which is coming up, which a lot of people think is going to be a tough fight for McGregor. What's your message to Conor McGregor now within 30 seconds?
Within 30 seconds, I think you really need to work on your stamina. You need to tighten up all your weapons. Don't make them so sloppy. And you need to use your body weight when you're throwing punches. And that's it, really. And you can always say a couple of things, but I think if you were there and you had a set of mitts on, that's where you can really start to, you know, show the guy how he can maximise how he uses his body for power rather than just sticking his hands out. And he needs to be a lot tighter, because I notice sometimes he's pretty sloppy, and sometimes he gets caught flat-footed as well.
Okay. And Tyson Fury?
Tyson, again, he's got a good jab, but he drops it. So he needs to bring that jab back in fast. He shouldn't be fighting like that for here, leaving this open, because this seems to be the modern thing. You fight that way. Look at the hole here. He needs to plug that hole when he's throwing the jab. The hands here, it can move and also from side to side if it needs here or here. This is old school. And when he's throwing these uppercuts, he can't leave himself wide open. He needs to keep his hook a bit tighter as well, because it opens too much for the hook and relies on his arm. He needs to use his body with turning in and slamming it and add the shock to the punch with hitting and drawing back fast. Not just that kind of dull hit. He's to hit and snap it back. And again, hit and move off to the outside.
Okay. By the way, have you seen Povetkin and have you seen Alexander Povetkin fight before?
No.
Okay, so I will ask you what your thoughts were. What are your thoughts on fighters like we did a kind of a show earlier on about Alexander Povetkin. He's a gold medalist. He only got beat once by Klitschko. That went to points. Klitschko was holding for dear life. That's how good a fighter Povetkin is, although Klitschko beat him. But he's only had one defeat, and he's been in the world ranking and the top 3 for the last 10 years, Povetkin, consistently. There's now stories coming out that he's been sparring with Daniel Dubois, a young man from the UK who's a big puncher. And he's been bruised up and he got a black eye. I said that it's good to hear that Povetkin is, you know, getting beaten up in sparring because he's prepared himself for fighting a big guy like Joshua. What are your thoughts on this preparation? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, this guy got to fight Joshua.
Yeah, Povetkin's going to fight Joshua, but he bought a guy who's similar stature and a big puncher.
If he's just as big as Joshua and he moves better than Joshua, he's got a good punch, he'll beat him. I think he could beat him.
Why?
if this other guy's about the same height as him, he's got a good jab and he's got good mobility.
Povetkin's about 6'3", Joshua 6'6". But the guy who's sparring, the guy who's sparring at Mount Povetkin, he's sparring a guy who's 6'6", around the same height as Joshua and the same size.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
who he's sparring with.
I would really have to see him to tell you the truth. But the thing is, when you watch Joshua, he's too square all the time, and he stands like that, and he moves square. He presents a wide target right through the middle. So he needs to change his whole structure, whether he goes right side or left side. But Joshua's too square like that, left jab, into trouble, back, panic, right uppercut. Joshua needs to turn his body, needs to change his feet a bit, so he's a narrow target. He needs to study Clipsy Ali, how Ali's lighting his feet and uses that long jab, left hook, and right, bang, and knock him out. Because when you stand square, it cuts your mobility down. When you stand square, you can only move lateral. Right? When you put your right foot forward, you can accelerate forward, back and forward fast, in and out fast. When you need to move lateral, you change your feet to here and then back to here. So when he goes in close, there, outside hit, move, change your feet again. This position here is for quick acceleration with that jab, in and out. Look at Ali. At close quarters, the feet goes to here, so he can use these shots this way, then back out.
Mexican boxing. What are your thoughts on Mexican boxing? Mexican style boxing.
They're tough. They're tough. They guys are good and tough. Very tough.
What do you think of guys that fight with their face and not with their hands? Where they block punches, they take 5 punches to land 1.
They're tough. Different style, really different. Different style.
Okay, let's see. Quick question. If Tommy trained Brock Lesnar, how can he make Lesnar better in terms of UFC?
Again, I would need, here's the thing, I've been teaching people how to fight for what? Since about 1974, and I'm nearly 60. So I can look at people and I can see a lot of things that most people don't see, purely because it's just I've got a lot of experience. And if I saw him, I could, at the end of the day, I can make anybody better. All I've got to do is see the person, watch them, and see where their flaws are. It could be their footwork, it could be their body mechanics. And I know this is a thing that most people don't think about, and a lot of boxers don't train, and the ability to see fast without hesitating. And even in the world of hand-to-hand combat, right across that spectrum, whether it's weapons, anything, there is very little training done with the eyes. People focus too much on technique, and they should train their eyes to see fast and no hesitate. If you watch a lot of boxing matches, there's a lot of times where the guy could be punched, there's holes up here, but they don't see it quick enough. So anybody I would be training, I'd be training them to be highly mobile, to spot any shift of body weight, to see any kind of holes in the opponent's defences, and not to hesitate. As soon as they see it, they knock them out.
Okay, let's see. Is there any other questions here? Right, we're gonna close now. Tommy, do you have any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to tell the people that have been listening today? Any messages?
Well, I just, thanks for the interview, and I just hope that some guys have got something out of it. It's been pretty fun, and it's been interesting. I've done interviews, everywhere from China to Russia and God knows where, and everyone is slightly different, and it's interesting. That's the most important thing. I mean, people ask you questions and you've got to come up with the answers, and nothing's scripted. It's great. That makes your brain think, and that's what makes you a better teacher. Presented with challenges, presented with challenges, with things you've got to overcome to try and make people better. And I do this on a daily basis with all the people I teach, because I've got a lot of different levels of proficiency, and I've got to come up with exercises and drills to take people and make them that much better. And that's what, a teacher should be doing. You should always be looking, studying, and learning all the time. I learn so much for the people I teach. It's unbelievable, and I should really thank the people I teach.
Tommy, thank you so much. We hope that we can have you back on the show.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you in Glasgow.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
Tommy, see you soon. Thank you so much.
All the best then. Goodbye then.
Thank you, Tommy.
Bye.
So there we have it. Tommy there, Tommy Carruthers from the instructor of the original Jeet Kune Do. So thank you all so much for watching. This is BWTM Sports with another exclusive. And this week we've got another exclusive. But the exclusive this week we're going to have for you. You have to be a boxing connoisseur for this one. We're going to go way back in time. It's a round for round special, a real round for round special, a treat for you. So tune in for that. This has been BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing, Three Kings Boxing. And thank you all so much for watching. There'll be many changes to BWTM Sports shortly. And I just want to thank you all for your support. Please share this video. Get it out to Tyson Fury. Get it out to Conor McGregor. Get it out to boxers. And, of course, if you want to get to contact Tommy, yes, www. And he's got his information in the description box below. Thank you all so much. This is BWTM Sports. We're out. Take care.